And we are live. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Hack Smarter Swiss channel. My name is Tyler. I am the one who gets to hang out with you this evening, or if you're watching this after the fact on my YouTube channel, welcome to my YouTube channel as well. We are going to dive back into the Red Team Capstone Challenge Network by TryHackMe. This is day number 3, but we're doing this in shorter chunks of time. So my plan for this evening, guys, is we will hang out for the next hour and a half or so and see where we get to, and wherever we go, we will stop and we'll pick it back up tomorrow night. So my plan, if I'm able to do it without burning myself out, is every single night, with the exception of Monday, because I'm leading a meeting. I'll share more about that in just a second, but every single night we are going to dive into this network and see where we can get to. I'm going to get the Twitch chat pulled up right here, and before we dive into it, I do just want to invite you guys to join the Work Smarter Discord. If you are not part of that Discord, it's a Discord that I hang out in, and there's something that I do every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Time. So actually, the time that we're doing this right now is 9 p.m. Whatever time zone you're in, if you're joining me on stream right now, I'm guessing you could join the meeting I lead on Mondays as well. So I'm going to drop the link to Discord. Join the Discord, drop your name in the intro, tag me. Would love to be the first person to welcome you to it. But every Monday at 9 p.m., I lead a kind of weekly goal setting meeting, and we encourage people to answer 3 questions. What did you accomplish this past week? What are your specific learning goals for this upcoming week? And finally, did you meet your learning goals? And if not, what changes, what adjustments do you need to make to your schedule, to your discipline, so that you better meet your goals? I'm not selling anything, guys. I make no money from the content I produce. I even turn off monetization on YouTube. I have no monetization on Twitch, and I make no money from Discord. So this is not like a sales pitch, really just a way to give back to the InfoSec community. So if you're looking for a group of people to hang out with, grow with, join our Discord. We'll love to meet you on there. But here we go, guys. We are going to dive into it, and I'll give a very short recap of where we've been. Let me go ahead and share my screen. You can see I was doing a little bit of research right before we jumped on, but didn't have enough time to actually accomplish much of anything. We did find a VPN. So I think this is our first stream. We did get access a little bit to the internal network, these 2 workstations, but we couldn't do anything further from there. We could not enumerate AD because we did not have valid creds, and we were just kind of stuck there. So we went back to the drawing board. We spent a little time on the web server, and we found an admin panel, but we didn't know the password. We were able to see that the username is admin. Default passwords did not work. If we can find a password elsewhere, it might be vulnerable to password reuse, and then maybe we get some type of RCE through the October CMS. So that's one way we could do it. The VPN, that's where we found that VPN file. I don't think there's anything else cool there for us besides we could log in if we get some creds. But at the end of the stream last night, that's when we first scanned our mail server here. And on this mail server, I mean, you can see all the different ports that are open. The ones that stand out to me, of course, is we have stuff for mail like SMTP, POP3, IMAP, SMTP, we have MySQL, RDP, all being exposed, internet facing, which of course is not a good idea. And the approach I want to do is we will probably spend a little bit of time enumerating each one of these services. But one thing that we remembered from last time is included in the Capstone Challenge resources, there is 2 files that I think are going to come in handy with us today. So we have this password policy here. So we know the password policy for the reserve, which is the bank that we are hopefully going to hack, is it needs to be 8 characters long, needs 1 number, and needs 1 special character. And we also have a password base list, as you can see here. And so here's my thought for our initial plan for this evening is we need to figure out how to make a custom rule like in John the Ripper or Hashcat, and have our custom rule fulfill these password policies. If we can make a custom rule, we can do what's called password mangling with our rule, and we can take this base password list, we can mangle it or add to it to add some numbers, add some special characters, change the case up on it, just so we have a more strategic password list. And then SMTP is relatively easy to brute force using Hydra. And so if we can get a password list, we already have our users. Do I have it? Usernames.txt? No, not that one. If I back up here, here it is. Remember, we found these users based on images that were on the website. Each one of those images were labeled with the name. So we know that these are the users. We know what their emails look like, so we could append at whatever their email is to the end of this once we get to that point. But goal number one this evening is if we can figure out how the heck to make a rule, that'd be a good place to start. I only had about 20 minutes before jumping on stream. I was hoping I could like make the rule real quick, test it, and then explain to you guys how I did it so that I didn't have to waste the entire stream trying to figure out how to do this, but I didn't get it done. So we may spend this entire stream, you guys watching me trying to make a rule. But what I'm referring back to is there's a whole red team pathway on TryHackMe, and I'll just show you guys how I got to this just in case you're following along. On this main TryHackMe page, we have red teaming, and this is supposed to be the capstone, of course, for the red team network. And I did complete this 100% right there. There's my path progress. And here's kind of what we're doing. We're doing initial access, and I am looking at password attacks. And on these password attacks, it explains some simple stuff. But what I think is going to be helpful to us, and I haven't even had a chance to really read it, is offline attacks, rule-based attacks. So we're going to go through this together and see if we can figure out how to write a rule. T-Sturge said the notes also show that the only symbols. Yeah, that's right. I should add that. I know that in my head because even here you guys can see I was trying to use ChatGPT to help me with this again, and freaking ChatGPT does not know how to do this, and neither do I. So that was, ChatGPT is not going to be very helpful with this part of it. So if we just do mousepad, password policy, let's just add this note there. Here we go, the password policy for the bank. Now we have our special character, so I don't have to keep having to look that up. So now if we cat that out, it should be there. Okay. Beautiful. What up, T-Sturge? What up, Donkey? What up, Trojan? Does anyone here have experience programming a phone charger to be a rubber ducky? No. That's cool, though. I have no idea how you would do that. That is beyond my pay grade. All right, rule-based attacks are known as hybrid attacks. They assume the attacker knows something about the password policy, which we do. We have it right there. Rules are applied to create passwords within guidelines of the given password policy and should, in theory, only generate valid passwords. Using pre-existing word lists may be useful, blah, blah. For this attack, we can expand our word list using hashgetter John. However, we'll see how John works. John has a config file that contains rule sets, which is located here. And I actually just ran this command like literally minutes before going on stream. And we can see the rule list that we have. And one of those rule lists might honestly be worth it for what we're attempting to do here. And I will also do my best to interact with the chat. Blaine said, is a CS degree worth it nowadays? I don't know if I'm the best resource to talk to. I think it depends what you want to do. For pen testing, certifications and experience are much more important than formal degrees. But I actually love education. So I have an associate's degree, a bachelor's, and a master's, and some certs like the OSCP and things like that. So I have a handful of things, but all depends what you want to do. You said 4 jobs. It depends, once again, on the specific job. A lot of blue team and more formal organizations such as banks, you need a bachelor's degree to get through that HR hurdle, but it really depends on the role. We can see that we have many rules that are available for us to use. We will create a word list with only one password containing the string TryHackMe. To see how we can expand the word list, let's choose one of the rules, a best64 rule, which contains a best64 built-in John rules, and see what it can do. I want to make my own. The output shows that our list has a complex version of TryHackMe, which is, I mean, maybe it could be possible that this rule list right here might be sufficient for us. Core logic uses various built-in and custom rules to generate complex passwords. Custom rules. Here's what I want to do. All right. John the Ripper has a lot to offer. For instance, we can build our own rules and use it at runtime while John is cracking the hash, or use a rule to build a custom word list. Let's say we wanted to create a custom word list from a pre-existing dictionary with custom modifications to the original dictionary. The goal is to add special characters, to the beginning of each word and add numbers 0 to 9 at the end. The format will be as follows. So we don't need our symbols in the beginning. I would guess most employees are adding their custom symbols at the end, like password exclamation mark. We can add our rule to the end of john.conf. Specify the rule set. AZ represents a single word from the original word list dictionary. Okay, so that's that. 0 to 9 appends a single digit from 0 to 9 to the end of the word. For 2 digits, we can add 0, 9, 0 on and so on. That as a special character at the beginning of each word. Blank means the beginning of the line, that word. Note changing caret key to $ will append the special character at the end of the line, that word. That's what I think we want to do, is append it to the end. Now let's create a file containing a single word password. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. So if we sudo mousepad etc, you can see, guys, I was already messing with this, but I couldn't get to work. Let's open this up. And this ignore this password list because it didn't work. We'll call this Red Team Capstone. And we should be able to follow most of what is already here. So, whoops, 0 to 9, like that. And then we want to do $. I want to add the special characters onto the end because I think we're going to have better luck there. Here's our special characters. How do we set a minimum length in John? Created. Well, we should be fine because I think if we look at all of these are like it 8 characters already for the most part. So even if we modify these, I don't think we need to set a minimum length. We should be good just doing it this way because our password base list already has a minimum length. So Red Team Capstone, let me go ahead and save that. And here's the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. So we did that. We specified it. Now let's create a file containing, so we already have, we don't need our single file. We have our word list already. So let's try John word list. You can see when I was trying this before, but was unsuccessful. Baselist.text rules. Looks like I had my syntax wrong anyways. THM. Oh, what did I call it? I already forgot what I called it. Red Team Capstone, I think, was my rule. Let's just even see if it works. Oh, beautiful. It actually did work. Let's just glance at this. So it's adding one number and one special character onto the end. Will that be good enough for us to get access? I have no idea. We may have to mangle that a little more, but we at least have a starting spot, right? What? Okay, we have a mangled password list now successfully. I haven't even connected to the VPN though. Let's actually get the network pulled up. And we're going to continue referring back to this to do this. Shoot, you guys are chatting a lot here. Ranger will respond. Oh, I think it's just about some TryHackMe stuff. Are you guys just chatting with each other? Totally fine. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything you guys are asking me. Overgrown Carrots, I would love to stick around to watch, but going on a Mother's Day lunch. Sweet. Well, happy Mother's Day to whatever mother you're going on lunch with. We have our network going. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and connect to it. There we go. Okay, so we have, let's remove this usernames.txt because that's not the right one. And the other thing that we need to do is if we pull up our notes and go over to, I think it was the web server where I included this information. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I can't copy that very well. Just do it here. And now we're going to say, I'll show you guys how to use ChatGPT in a way that's actually useful. Write a bash one-liner that appends onto the end of every line in a file called usernames.txt. Beautiful. Let's see if that works. Okay, so there's all of our usernames. We have the email appended onto it. And we'll even just copy usernames into Capstone Challenge resources. Maybe. All right, now we have usernames modified and passwords mangled. Oh, that was my broken one. What do we do? Mangled passwords? All right. Okay, we have both of those files. Beautiful. And now I'll show you guys how the red team pathway itself can be helpful, because I think this actually explains how to do it with Hydra. If we go to online password attacks, Hydra supports an extensive list of network services to attack. Using Hydra will brute force network services such as web login page, FTP, SMTP, that's what we're going to try, and SSH in this section. So SMTP, similar to FTP servers, we can also brute force SMTP servers using Hydra. The syntax is similar to the previous example. The only difference is the targeted protocol. Keep in mind, if you want to try other online password attack tools, you may need to specify the port number, which is 25. Be sure to read the options of this tool. So if we do Hydra, I believe first, let's make sure we can actually ping the web server. Make sure our connection is solid real quick. We can, and I'm just going to do sudo mousepad etc host. And we'll call it mail. I'm just going to call it THM because I don't remember their naming convention. Okay, perfect. So now Hydra, I believe capital L is how you pass it a list. So if you notice what I'm doing different, they're doing lowercase l because they're just using one specific email, but we want to use a password or a username list, not just one. And actually, let's ls so I can see the name of our files. And that's going to be usernames modified there. And then -p. If you wanted to do password spraying with one password, I believe it'd be a lowercase p. But because we have a password list, we're going to do a capital P here. And we'll do, I believe it was mangled passwords, right? Not passwords mangled. That's the broken one. And then SMTP mail.thm/v. It's at least doing something, so that's a plus. Let me look over the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, me man's just what a nice dude, providing tech support at 4 a.m. as he's hanging out on stream. Amoeba Man's the real MVP here. Okay, well let's let this do its thing. We'll just call this SMTP brute force like that. And we could actually move on to just enumerating the services that we saw open and spend a little bit of time doing that. So we'll check on our brute force in just a little bit. If we look over at everything that's running, we have SSH running. If we can find, and I'll even make note of this. A man said, Tyler, how many passwords do you have in your list? 11,000. Is that too big of a list for us? That's what it looks like anyways. At least that's how many are left. Maybe my rule was too open or something. What up, Tagora? A meme man said, sounds good. Okay, cool. We'll let that do its thing in our list. Let's jump back to our notes and let's just go through these services one by one. So with SMTP, there's a few things that you can do. You can actually perform username enumeration. If it's enabled on the server, I believe it's the verify one. And just for your guys' notes, I think Metasploit actually has a module that you can do username enumeration on this. I don't think we'll do that because we already know some valid users because of the OSINT that we did on the website. But just know if you're attacking SMTP, that's one thing that you can do is username enumeration. And we could pull up handy dandy hack tricks just because it's such a good resource. And he'll probably provide some more information for us. But if we see our basic information, we could, of course, check email headers. We probably don't need to do that. We already know what it's going to look like, I believe. Enumeration. If the server supports NTLM auth, you can obtain sensitive versions here. I mean, that'd be something to try. Internal server name disclosure. You know, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time enumerating this because if we can get one of these usernames to work, we'll have a lot of stuff to work with. Sniff passwords. Auth brute force, username brute force enumeration. Authentication is not always needed. And I could show you guys some of this a little bit. Sender okay, test user unknown, to admin user unknown, to ed recipient okay. We could try that manually just to see if that actually works. So if we do telnet mail.thm25 like that, and if we say, I think, hello, and mail from, and we should be able to actually put in our email there, possibly. So remember, we got an email here, although it's not, I guess that actually wouldn't work. It's not the right thing. Well, maybe it would. Mail from, and now if we do RCPT2 test, it should be invalid, I would think. A valid address is required. Ooh, SMTP authentication is required. Okay, maybe it wouldn't, maybe the way this is set up, we can't actually do this. This is still doing its thing. We could do verify. How to do this? Requires domain address. Pleased to meet you. Verify root. Super user. Verify blah, blah. We could try that again, but since the other one didn't work, I don't think this will work either. Oh, okay. Oh, verify is disallowed, so we can't actually do it that way. All right, here's the Metasploit tool I was talking about. But once again, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. You're welcome to if you want. I just don't think it's going to be fruitful for what we are doing right now. Apparently can't do that. So let's go back and look at the services that are running. This we're currently brute forcing. We do have a web server running here, and we have a little bit of information. We know it's running IIS 10.0. There's no severe vulnerabilities with that, if my memory serves me correct. Nothing that's going to be useful for a red team exercise, just some very basic HTTP stuff. And also, if I remember, there's not really much running there. But there are a few things that we can do. If I can get my mouse and pull up in my notes. If we go back to when we are enumerating this web server, you can remember our to-do list here. We can customize that a little bit for here. So we don't need to browse the website. There's probably nothing in the source code. Really just these, just GoBuster, I suppose, for directory search and vhost might be helpful. HTTP mail.thmu. We'll try that one. Oh, my bad. I meant to say W, not U. Doubt there's anything running, but we can always check. And vhost u mail.thm w user share wordlists seclists discovery DNS. We can just do like 20,000. Whoops. There. Probably isn't going to find anything. But that's what I thought about the VPN thing as well, and it found something. So we'll let those things run. That's probably the only scans we want to do. Oh, beautiful, friends. We found some valid creds with our brute force attack. So let's grab our valid creds, and we'll go over to SMTP, and we'll say we have some valid creds here. So we have Laura.wood at corp.thereserve.lock and password 1A. Awesome. These things probably aren't going to be helpful for us. I'm just going to stop these now. We have something to work with right now. So if we go to our TryHackMe folder, Red Team Capstone, let's make a new directory, and we'll just call it creds, cd creds, mousepad, Laura Wood.text. We'll paste that in there, so we know that those are her credentials. Ventral Dealer said, I'm learning a lot about note-taking here. You're making my notes look like trash. Dude, note-taking is so important, and I think a skill that we don't talk about enough. And if you get in the habit of taking good notes in the beginning of your career as you're learning, it's going to pay off a lot in the end. So I get a lot of people asking me like for my notes, and I did used to share them a lot, but like you guys can even see if I click boxes here, you can see all the boxes I've done and like step by step how I enumerated them. When I did the OSCP, my notes came in clutch. So like a really quick rabbit trail on the OSCP, I passed it in 8 hours and then wrote my report. So within the first 24 hours, I passed the exam and submitted my report. So I didn't even need the second 24 hours, but I was stuck for the first 5 hours of the exam. I couldn't even get a foothold on the AD environment and was close to quitting. Got past what I was stuck at, and then I completed the rest of the exam in the last 3 hours. And honestly, a big part of that were my notes. So in many ways, I did the OSCP in 3 hours after I got done being stuck. I got to 80 points and then submitted my report and said, peace out. But a big thing was just having really well-organized notes as I was going into the OSCP. So yeah, take good notes. They are important. Okay, but now that we have her, what we can do now is we can actually sign into her email. There's a lot of things that we can do. Now that we have creds, this is probably an AD account, so we could do some AD enumeration. We could look at her email. The first thing I want to do is look at her email, and then we're going to do some AD enumeration with her creds because this is an enterprise environment. Those creds probably work for Active Directory, and we could enumerate valid users in Active Directory as well. But for now, let's just see if we can sign into her email. And here's where I want to do sudo mousepad etc host here. And I think I forgot to share this, guys, in the beginning. When I go through rooms on my stream and on YouTube, I do not pre-prep these. So this is just me working through it live. And so I want your guys' help. If you see something I'm missing, sound off in the chat, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. We'll hack the bank together. I want to do that. And now if we open Evolution, which was the little mail app I installed in the last stream, here's our email from Amoeba Man, our friend, the man, the myth, the legend. Can I set up a new email? I don't actually know how to use this app very well. Can I just delete my email? I probably don't want to do that. How do I authenticate new? Nope, I don't want to compose an email. I want to connect to a new email box. Message. All right, we're going to do it the bad way. I mean, we don't need our email right now. I'm literally just going to change my information to this girl's, Laura Wood. And because I saved corp.thereserve.loc to my Etsy host file, we should be good here if I just do it like that, corp.thereserve.loc. Receiving email. I think I can change this all. I doubt case matters. Receiving options, sending email. We'll go that. I think this will resolve everything correctly. Asking for her password. That's a good sign. She has a very strong password there. Okay, so we did get signed into an email, but she has no messages. One thing I'm just curious about doing is how this email stuff works. So can I send a message to my other email? I just want to try this for fun. This does not do anything for our engagement. I just want to see if this actually works. So if I email myself from her email, which you obviously wouldn't want to do. You wouldn't want to be able to see, like, you know, sent emails that I email myself. Okay. No, send the email. Send it. All right, whatever. Maybe I can't. Maybe I have to configure something on my end, but I'm not going to waste my time doing that. We have valid creds. Oh, we got another one. We got another one, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. So it looks like my password list worked. That actually makes me really happy. I was going to get super discouraged if I spent the entire stream trying to figure out how to get a working password list. And here's the moral of the story, guys. I was trying to use ChatGPT. I was trying to use Google. I was even trying to use Hack the Box Academy because I didn't initially see where it was at in the red team pathway and TryHackMe. Then I finally went to the red team pathway and TryHackMe, and it worked beautifully. So shout out to the red team pathway and TryHackMe. Really, really appreciate the work everyone has put into that. And once again, if you haven't done the red team pathway, I understand there's this rush to do this first because it's limited. But once we're done with this network, go back to the red team pathway. It's really, really, really well done. Explains things super well. I actually just said on LinkedIn the other day, someone asked me, what's better, Hack the Box or TryHackMe? I said, hey, I think both have really good strengths. But I said, hands down, the red team pathway is one of the best like modules I've done on all the different platforms I've worked on. So make sure you check it out if you haven't. So we have Muhammad as well. We could check for emails in his account. Let's just do that really quick, just so we cover all of our grounds. Oops. Just going to redo kind of what I did if I do properties on here, and we'll just put his name and all this stuff. Should not take too long. Should prompt his first password. There we go. Just make sure he doesn't have any emails that might be interesting to us. Oh, did his email not work here? Maybe I have something configured wrong. Whatever. That's fine. There's one other thing, guys, I want to check before we move on to here. I remember in the back of my mind that there were certain developers on that website that we were on. Like, I remember seeing the developer names. Oh, wrong one. Let's go to the web server here. That's 13. I want to make sure neither of those were the developers, because if it is, we might have password reuse. Amy Walker and Patrick Edwards. Nope, none of those. We don't have their creds. That's fine. We'll come back to that. Let's dive into some Active Directory specific enumeration. Oh, where do we start? We could do like, I guess we could just make sure the creds work first. Then we could do like Bloodhound Python. Guys, it's been a while since I've done AD. I spent a lot of time working on AD when I was prepping for the OSCP, but then ever since I got a job as a pen tester, I do web apps. So I just have not done AD much, but I was really immersed into it, and I think I have good notes on it. But let's just make sure what we have are valid AD creds. There's a few things that we can do. One thing that I'm curious about is, could we RDP into those workstations? Remember work 1 and work 2? My mind's going in so many different directions. Like, I would like to try that. Shoot, let's just try it. Let's just see if it works. And then we'll go back to standard enumeration. but where am I at? Oh, Red Team Capstone. We have corp username VPN. Hopefully no one else is using this VPN, otherwise it will not work for us. And remember, that's on purpose to make it more realistic. Haha, it worked. Beautiful. Let's do Remina, and we'll grab the IP. I'm just grabbing it from my notes over here for one of those workstations. And now we can go ahead and try the usernames that we found. Oh, did I just save into my... I don't think I saved that one guy's stuff to my machine, but I'll do that. So let's try Laura Wood. And her password is password1@. And then we'll include the domain information. I don't think it's going to work. Oh, shoot. Beautiful. We have RDP access. Oh, that makes me so happy. So happy. So we have access to the internal environment for sure now. We are on here. We can run commands. Net user. Who was our other person? Who was our other user that we compromised? Mohammed. Whoops. Oh, did I spell his username wrong? Oh, we forgot the D. Ooh, he's on help desk. He might be a more privileged user that we could take. If he's on help desk, he might have permissions to reset users' passwords, things like that. With Laura Wood, oh, she's also on help desk. Okay, cool. A few things I want to do, I think. Me-Man said flag submission time. I don't even know how to get the flags, bro. Maybe I should read the instruction more. Do I have access to a flag right now? Or do I need to like become admin on this computer? He says, please go get your flags first, Tyler. Bro, I don't know where the flags are at. I don't... Maybe I should read how to do that. Talk to eCitizen. Okay, let's give it a shot because this will be a learning experience for all of us. Access to... I have access to 3 flags? What? All right, I don't know how to do this. Let's figure it out. If we go back to TryHackMe, and let's move to this side, and let's look at flag submission process. In order to prove that you can compromise the estate, the government try meant to requires the interface with the eCitizen platform, blah, blah, blah. Flags are provided both for initial foothold, which we have, to probably multiple machines, and the full compromise. In certain cases, your foothold may also directly provide administrative access. The flags are not. Okay, so let's talk to this thing, which our creds are right there. I'm just going to pull that over here. Was it? Actually, I think there was specific. Hold up. Let me remember how to do this. Patching in. Wasn't there a specific username that we used? You need to get in touch. That uses, here are the SSH details provided. So I think this is how we have to do it. eCitizen at, what are we, 10 dot, I don't even remember IPs. 10.200.113.250. And this is the password that we got when we registered, if you guys remember where I'm getting this information from. Oh, there's hints here? I didn't even know there was hints, but we're not going to look at hints. Submit proof of compromise. Please select which flag you would like to submit proof for. Perimeter breach, Active Directory breach, Corp Tier 2 foothold. Would this be perimeter breach? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Please provide the host name of the host you've compromised. Please use a name provided in your network diagram. I don't think I had. Oh, shoot. Did it give it to me? No, I don't have it in my network diagram. Authenticate, you said press option 3 to verify your mailbox, then use option 1 for flag proving. You breached the perimeter. Okay, cool. So that's what we did. Let's go here. Work 1. I think that's all it needs. This is really cool verification process, Amoeba Man. I was not expecting it to be like this this in depth. This is really neat. Like literally better than OSCP or anything. This is creative. Okay, so it says on the work 1 host, navigate to Windows temp directory. Okay. Make sure to use command prompt for this step. That's what I'm using. I'm in command prompt. Got it. So cdc Windows temp directory. Is there anything in there? Nope. Create a text file with this name. Okay. I'm thinking of PowerShell commands. Touch, echo. Does echo work? Add the following UID to the first line. Can I echo this? Is that command shell? Or am I thinking PowerShell? We'll find out. Oh, whoops. Type Tenebrae. Oh, access is denied. Did it work? Once you perform the steps, please enter Y to verify your access. Oh, no quotes. Did I do it wrong? I probably did it wrong. So if I hit Y, it might fail. Let's try it, and if it fails, we'll just try again. Oh, did it work? I think it verified it. Permanently added it to the list of known hosts. Oh, we verified it, guys. We got a flag. Gosh, I'm a freaking king. Oh, I don't see it here, but it says, well done, check your email. Amoeba Man said, do the echo without quotes and use the full path. Didn't it work, though? It says, congratulate, well done, check your email. Let's check our email, I guess. Oh, shoot. Let's get my email set back up here real quick. Oh, thank you, Amoeba Man. You have received the flag for perimeter breach. Pony kids. I'm so happy. He says, now think about where you are authenticated. You can submit an additional 2 flags. So I'm pretty sure we're on corporate division tier 2 infrastructure and we have breached Active Directory. I'm guessing those are the 2 flags. What's this made it? Hey there, I don't know whether to congratulate you or not. I really thought our perimeter would be more secure, but congrats anyway. One security pro to another, you have really shown your red teaming skills. Day number 3, guys, and technically, this would be in one work day. We've only been doing this for like 3 hours so far. Now that our perimeter is breached, you are one step closer to your end goal, facilitating a fraudulent payment. There's still quite a while to go. The next item on the agenda is to get a foothold on AD. You'll need it, as Active Directory controls access to most of the resources in the environment. We are a fairly large org, so the attack surface here is quite big. We already have a foothold on AD because we're signed into our account. Dude, that's so exciting. I feel so good. Let's do the next flag. So if we go back to our terminal here, let's submit proof of compromise. And I believe we have an Active Directory breach. Please provide the host name. Okay, so we can literally follow the same process we just did. It seemed to work. It's a little bit laggy trying to delete, but come on. Okay. Oh, Tyler, for the next flag, may I ask that you don't show the actual flag on stream if at all possible? Oh, yeah, sure. I will do that. Sounds good. I will, for the next one, I'll go back to just sharing my face so y'all don't copy the flags, you silly cheaters. Good work. And honestly, like, guys, if you cheat on a TryHackMe challenge on either their machines that they have or whatever, like, you're only cheating yourself, right? Like, you're not, it's silly. Don't cheat yourself, my friends. But good call. I didn't even think about that. I'll make sure I'll just share my face. Can this paste? My goodness. So yeah, if you guys do copy the flag, sounds like you'll get found out that you're a fraud, so don't do it. Thank you. Now I can finally paste. Oh, I didn't do a capital Y. My bad. Well done. Check your email. Okay, guys, we're going to go to, you guys just get to look at my face so you don't get to see the flag. And I did successfully get the flag. Here it is. Y'all just don't get to see it. Let me copy that and drop it into breaching Active Directory. Beautiful. Minimize that. And now I'm also not going to share my screen because I'm just looking at this foothold on corporate division tier 2 infrastructure. And that's what I have now. So let's do that. And I think I can share my screen for this part to show you guys the process that I'm doing. So we're going to submit another proof of compromise. And we have Corp Tier 2 foothold now. So let's grab this. Copy selection. Sometimes it works better if I copy the notepad first. Yep, there we go. And we'll echo like that. Go over here, verify with Y. Heck yeah, guys. 3 flags. All right, back to just looking at my face. And I'm going to grab this flag real quick. Man, that feels good. And now, I think I can share my screen. I want to make sure I don't see the flags. So basically, so I'm going to read out what Amoeba Man's saying because it'll be helpful for those of you watching on YouTube, especially those who attempted to copy my flag. He said, with this challenge, eCitizen becomes our verification portal. Can even tell us if you just speed run the flags. In these cases, we can just basically either ban the users or in business-to-business case let the employer know that they cheated. And Venture Deal said, did you do the AD rooms on TryHackMe? Happy to give you a brief run through now. On the tier stuff? Yeah, if you do the AD rooms, it'll explain it. But basically, it's almost like an onion. And the higher number tiers are, I don't know if less secure is the right word, but the domain admin is usually tier 0. I need to make sure I get all the flags cleared from my screen real quick, guys, before I go back to sharing my screen. I do want to show you what the network looks like from here, from this point on, because you're not able to submit the flags. But of course, if you're following along with my stream, you're going to see what I'm seeing as we work our way through this. So I don't think this will be a spoiler, but I do just want to say, if you don't want a spoiler and you're working this on your own and you're not to this point yet, stop watching now. I'm just going to show you guys what the network looks like after you submit your flags. And you can see the information that we got access to. And I think the network diagram will help us understand kind of what our attack path looks like here. So none of the flags are showing, so we should be good. So here is what I have access to now, guys. We have the web server stuff, the VPN stuff, webmail. We had the DMZ firewall. Well, we have got past the DMZ firewall, and you can see we have access now to these different servers. We have work 1, work 2, server 1, server 2, and we know the DC. So we can start scanning stuff. But before we do any of that, I'll go back to sharing my screen because I want to make sure I don't, once again, accidentally share anything else, which I don't think I am. Before we do that, there's something real specific I want to do. And that is, I want to give us a better foothold on here. Because remember, the VPN that we are using right now is a VPN that we essentially stole from a user. And to simulate a real user, if anyone else uses that VPN, we're going to lose access to this internal network. So what we need to establish now is persistence. And the way that I'm thinking that we can establish persistence is if we look up how to generate open VPN file. Oh, actually, we can probably log in onto the VPN server now. I just want to make sure we have persistence. So can I log in on the VPN server? Let's check if I can. Can I log in as these users? Laurelwood. Maybe I need the full email. Okay, this service to be accessed only by reserve employees to request internal access. And if I submit here, oh, look at that. So now I can grab some users' VPN. So now I'm going to have multiple VPNs so that I don't get kicked off the network if somebody else is using a VPN. This will just help us provide persistence to the network for that reason. So let's grab this guy's password. And guys, look at this. it's just asking us to submit which account. Can we like literally request VPN access as any user? Yo, like, what is it verifying the user? So if I go to, I think I'm done with this. Do I got that one, that one, that one. Okay, we don't have admin yet, but we'll get there, I promise. Come on, go away, VirtualBox. How do I exit? So for example, it doesn't look like it's verifying what user is logged in here. I can get everybody's VPNs. That's beautiful. And you know, you might think like, hey, that's not realistic. But the truth is, guys, when companies have their own like hand-spun web server running to provide access like this, they often cut corners when it comes to verifying stuff, right? And so you may think, well, this isn't realistic. In many ways, it really is. I can't share things that I've seen or I've experienced just because I don't want to give away any client information. But you will catch this when you do a pen test and you get access to a company's environment. They'll have a portal like this, but it's literally not verifying any of it. So like, just to demonstrate this, guys, it's quite literally not verifying who I am at all. So if we go here, look at all these VPN files we have access to. So now if we get kicked off our current VPN, we can establish persistence. We can take it down. Oh, it's not even like, dude, it's not even checking it. It's not doing it at all. Oh, beautiful. All right, so we have our own VPN. Elite Hacker. We're going to and we have our Elite Hacker VPN. That's awesome. Oh man, that makes me happy. Okay, so if we looked at the flags, which I'm not going to show you guys right now, but one is like admin access on one of these machines, we could work on elevating our privileges on this Windows machine right here, and just by first doing some initial enumeration. Amibian said, I wonder how it's generating those VPN files. Maybe something to explore at another time as well. Now you have me curious. Let's very quickly, guys, look at that process with Burp Suite, so we can see the request and the response. There we go. And we have our VPN here. And our users. We just need one of them. We're going to be Amoeba Man. Oh my goodness, it's just past. Okay, this looks like something that could be abused. So we're doing this request VPN PHP. And we're just giving it a file name, like call the file name this. With a PHP session ID. Oh, okay. You don't even need authentication. Oh, I need to specify file name. Hold up. A meme man said, "Why did you steal my VPN file? I feel personally attacked." Dude, I'm an elite hacker. If I can get your VPN file, I can take over the network. You got to hack the TryHackMe employees to take down the network. Just kidding. I'm pretty sure that's against scope to like do real phishing attacks. Oh man, so just passing this file name parameter. I wonder, we're just going to take note of this for now. That's cool though. So cool. So cool. All right, guys. So here's, I think, we're going to do some boring stuff to set up for the bigger attack. So in this stream, our third stream, we got 3 flags. We have breached the perimeter, we have breached Active Directory, and we have breached tier 2 infrastructure. I would say that's pretty good in our first hour on stream. We have about 20 more minutes that we're going to be hanging out. And what I want to do now is let's begin just getting our notes situated as we work our way through this machine. I'm going to share my face one more time just because I'm going to switch over to my TryHackMe tab and I want to make sure it's not showing anything, which it isn't. So we should be good there. I'll go back to sharing my screen. We can see some infrastructure here. And so what I want to do is grab my notes, we'll just make this smaller, and start building out our notes. So we know we have our mail server, we have our VPN, and then we know we have our internal network here, these 2 workstations. We can see work 1, work 2, but now we have a couple of servers that we want to add to this. So we'll call this server 1, and we got 10, 200, 113, 31. We'll say server 2, 10.200.113.32. And then we have the corp DC at 10.200.113.102. And that's going to be one that's really interesting to us. And what we want to do now, guys, is just spin up some scans on these boxes to see what's on these boxes. So we'll start scanning these boxes. And while we're scanning these boxes, we'll continue to enumerate on the workstation that we have access to see if we can get admin rights. If we can get admin rights, we can do Mimikatz to dump hashes. We can also do a lot of other attacks. We could run Bloodhound Python, and so we'll probably end up doing that as well. But for now, I think what I want to do is just start spinning up scans against these IPs. What do I have here? Is this my... Oh, this is evolution. We can close that. Start spinning up scans against these IPs, do some enumeration, and then in our next stream, if we're not anywhere, that's when we'll run some Bloodhound Python. We'll see what attack paths might be available for us to elevate our privileges. We do know we're in the help desk group. I'm curious what privileges the help desk group role has. Can we reset users' passwords, kind of like a help desk employee? A lot of questions I have that we will slowly answer as we dig our way into this. But first, let's just go like this on 10.200.113.31. We'll do .v. Oh, you know what? This is probably, this is a Windows station. So PN for ignore host discovery. Whoops. Ameeman said, based on the level of access you have, you can't do that scan. Oh, you're right. You're right. My VPN only gives me access to 21 and 22. I would have to set up Chisel. Something like Chisel, then I'd be able to do that scan. So if we set up Chisel, that will allow us to chisel our connection through one of these. These workstations are able to hit it. So really what we need to do is some pivoting, some lateral movement in that way. And I don't know if I'll demonstrate that to you guys right now because I might want just to enumerate this workstation, see if we can get privilege escalation on it. But we could. I mean, let's just make sure we can ping these. So maybe we're not able to ping it because, okay, we can ping the DC. Oh yeah, you can see we can't ping the servers. Let me pull this out a little bit. servers are connected to the DC, our workstations are connected to the DC. So we can look at the DC from here. Okay, cool. Amoeba said, remember from your VPN profile, you can only see 21, 22. Yep, I think I must have been saying that as you were typing that. He said, chisel is one way, or you could explore and attempt to compromise the VPN server to get a more stable pivot into the environment. It's true. One second, guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. Apologies. I want to look at the flags. So we have breaching AD. We have a foothold on corporate division tier 2 infrastructure. And then one of the other flags is administrative access to corporate division 2 tier 2 infrastructure. But really that could be one of those servers as well, not necessarily these workstations. If we can take down these workstations, that's awesome, but maybe taking down those servers would be a better path to follow. Might be more useful. And Amoeba said, or even the CMS server, so that's the web server, as far as taking one down, or webmail. Fact is, there are many different footholds, and they aren't created equal in terms of stability. Yeah, and if we're speaking of stability, I think the VPN server might be our best bet, because that is the purpose, you know, of the VPN server. Let me scroll back up. I will share my screen again. Let's spend a little bit of time looking at this VPN server. And specifically, like, this file name thing is interesting to me. Can we... Just thinking in my head of how I would attack this. Like, can I make it hit my machine? Nope. I don't think so. That just redirects me, it looks like. If I try something like that. So I was hoping I could do something sweet like that, but we're passing it a file name parameter. I wonder what other things might be on here. So, because if we just hit just this endpoint, it says file name is required, which is fine. If we look at our scan results for the VPN, there wasn't much on the VPN, was there? There was SSH and HTTP. Gosh, my mind's going in so many different directions, because we could check SMB shares now with at least a couple of employees that we have. These help desk employees. We could chisel. Let me show you guys chisel. Should we do that? I'll show you chisel. I don't know if it's going to be the way we actually do this, but I know, especially for those of you studying for the OSCP, when I took the OSCP, they don't actually teach chisel. They teach other tools, and chisel is the best tool. In my opinion, and I'll show you why chisel is the best tool. Oh my goodness, I got too many chisels. I might just go download chisel. Do I have it here? Docker file, chisel, pivot. Here we go. We might just go download the binary. I'll show you the process from the beginning. And I have some really sweet notes. Let me get them pulled up on my other screen to make sure they don't pull up anything I can't show you guys. Okay. Here's my notes on how to use chisel. Look how easy this is. On Kali Linux, you start the server. On Windows, you connect back to Kali, add this to proxy chains, and you're done, y'all. So when you learn port forwarding and stuff, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. These are actually, I think this, I think some of these are my OSCP notes, so I can't show you guys stuff. Not from my exam, just from when I went through the Pen 200 course, things I jotted down. But this is not from the OSCP course. I put these notes together myself. This is lateral movement, port forwarding, chiseling in 3 easy steps. So the first thing that we need to do is go and grab those chisel binaries. We'll go to releases here. And we want AMD 64. Do I see Windows? We want the Windows one as well. Am I blind for Windows? Install, demo. Where's the Windows one? The Windows binary. Is that where I was just at? Maybe I really did just miss it. What the heck? Yo, where's the Windows binary for chisel? So you guys how easy this is. Now I had it on my other machine where I did the OSCP, so I didn't spend time on my OSCP trying to find it. I already had everything ready to rock. You must have an appropriate copy of chisel on both the attacking machine and the compromised server. I know that. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'm not going to show you guys chisel. Maybe our best bet is to compromise one of these other machines. We could, since the stream's almost over, I only have 15 minutes. Let's just spend a little bit of time looking at this machine to see if there is anything interesting on it. So we have the THM network setup PS1. I don't know if, I'm guessing that's like not actually something that we are supposed to attack. We have a bunch of different users that have been logged into this. We have Anthony Ross, Charlene Thomas, Christopher Smith, Emily Harvey. Ooh, and we have a service account. That stands out to me, the Service October account. Might this be the service account that controls the web server with October CMS on it? Since we have RDP access, we can even look at the GUI this way. And remember, we have another workstation that we have access to. I don't know how different that workstation might be. Okay, so it wants us to type in an admin. So we obviously are not an admin. How about, can we access these users folders? Nope. But we can access our folder. I don't even remember who I am. My Laura would. And you know, we don't have anything in our folder. Let me look at some of my notes here. Oh man, we could try WinPeas, power up type stuff. I have some better notes on this though. If I go to my hacking guide here and we go over to Windows, let's run some of these commands and see if we can just get a feel of what we are on this machine. Maybe it'll be something interesting for us, maybe not. So we don't have anything good there. We can't do like potato attacks. Okay, this looks good, or at least interesting. We have Corp Internet Access and Corp Help Desk. So we do have some elevated privileges. Let me If we glance at our notes for whatever it is, Trimento, we have SSH here. Did this mail server have RDP? Yeah, the mail server had RDP. Can I RDP into the mail server since I'm help desk? Let's try it. So 113.11. And we'll just pull our creds. Laura Wood. There, password 1. It doesn't work. So we can't RDP into that. Can we, is password authentication open on these SSH? Can we SSH in any of them? Let's try to SSH into the VPN. Once again, I'm just thinking since we're a help desk user, we might, maybe if I knew my commands, what is our name? We are Laura Wood. Since we are a help desk user, I'm thinking we might be able to access some of this stuff kind of on the back end. Oh no, so it takes key, and that's how it should. That's the more secure way of doing it. Just for good measure, let's check the mail server. I'm sure it's the same thing though. Okay, public key. I don't know if the web server had this enabled. Okay, so they're all public key, so we cannot SSH into them and do things that way. We can't RDP into the mail server. Once again, I really want to take down the VPN though. Would be the next step. That has to be above help desk pay grade. Yeah, I suppose it probably is above help desk pay grade. We need to compromise a user with a little more access. But guys, if we look at this machine here, this machine might actually be really helpful to us. And the reason I say that, if you look at all these users on here, right? If we are able to get an administrator on here and we could dump hashes or logon passwords, things like that, we might be able to compromise one of these other users who might have a little more access than we do now, especially the service account throughout the domain, not just on this machine, but throughout the domain. So if we can elevate our privileges on this machine, that might be a good attack point. Amoeba Man said, I wonder how the VPN creates a VPN file with your specified file name. I do too. I bet you know exactly how that can be exploited since, you made the network. I wonder how the VPN creates a VPN file. Let's think about this. It's doing this, I don't know what the PHP all does, but it's passing it this argument file name. Oh. I wonder if I have it generate a VPN file for a user in like a higher tier group. Would that user have access to other machines? Come on. I might have this syntax wrong here. Okay, so for example, we have these groups that we have here. We have tier 0 admins, tier 1 admins, and tier 2 admins. I'm trying to remember. Gosh, we're going to have to ask ChatGPT so I get the syntax right. He says, like, it has to talk to some other process to actually generate the VPN, right? So that is it actually safe how it's talking to that process? It's a good point. So you maybe can't answer this. Is this a rabbit hole that I'm trying to do now? Like if I generate a VPN for a higher tier admin, would my VPN file have access to other machines? You know, if they're not in the help desk group, they're in a different group. In my head, that works. User. Net group. That's what I was thinking. We should probably just take that down for our notes. We know that these are tier 0 admins. Of course, it specifies it in their name. If we can compromise them, that'd be cool. Let's just include this in our work one notes here in RDP, since we're technically RDP as we get this information. But we know that we have those users. So what if I specify... Oh, no, you know what? That probably wouldn't work. I'm thinking of how, like, if they're secure, how it would work is they would first access a jump box with their VPN, right? And then from that jump box, that's usually how you access from tier to tier. So I guess maybe we could get, I don't know why I'm doing tier 0. I meant to do tier 2. We might be able to get to tier 2, but to get to tier 0, I almost guarantee you they access a jump box, which then access the internal network. Here's all of our admins. We don't have them, do we? I don't see Muhammad in there, anyone. Here's all of our tier 2 admins, though. So what if we have it generate a VPN file for this guy? Nope, it doesn't work. And the only reason I say that, just so for those of you who might be new, this is what I'm looking at. First, don't attack this IP because it's a public IP. But you can see this VPN is giving us access to these 2 machines right here, which are the 2 workstations that we have access to. They almost, this workstations, in some ways are kind of like a jump box, maybe. If we look at how that VPN file set up, it must, I might have to do some reading on this. We have, actually, let's look at our network diagram. Okay, I gotta share my face again, make sure I don't share with you guys my sweet 3 flags. Okay. Let's consider this network diagram right here. We have our VPN, and that's what's giving us access to these machines. It's generating it. So the VPN has to be speaking to maybe the domain controller. How is it generating these, right? Or to one of these servers? We don't know what's running on those servers. But it's speaking somewhere here. How is it going through the firewall? Is that secure? Just passing this PHP over here. We can generate any file name that we want. Callie Max said NTLM hashes via responder. How would that work? I don't know. Responder is like if there's a typo, right? It's almost like typo squatting. I don't think we'd be able to steal like a hash as it does its thing here. If we spun up like Wireshark or something and watch the transaction back and forth, that might give us some information. I'm going to think about this because it is the end of the stream, guys. I'm purposely keeping my streams a little bit shorter to an hour and a half because I'm doing this every single night. I don't want to burn myself out by staying on here forever. So I'm going to think about this. You guys think about it as well. And we'll come back to this tomorrow night as I have the day to think about it. I'm purposely not going to try anything, though, so I'm not going to jump back on and try to hack it when I'm not online. But I'm just going to sit on this for a minute. I'm going to think about the PHP file. I'm going to think about how it might be interacting to pull these down. I'm going to think about how we might be able to abuse this file name parameter because I think that's what we might be able to abuse here. Me-Man said, how do you think the PHP code is talking to that VPN process? It's a good question. I need to think about this for a little bit, how we might attack this and use it to give ourselves greater stability on the internal network. But hey, we got a lot done in our hour and a half together. We have gotten 3 flags. We have got the perimeter breach flag. We got the AD flag, and we got the tier 0 infrastructure flag. So we knocked out 3 flags. That's a success. We learned how to make a custom rule with John the Ripper. We use our custom rule to make a custom password list. We successfully brute force SMTP with Hydra, got 2 valid accounts. We RDP'd to a workstation. Guys, we got a lot done in our hour and a half together. So thank you for hanging out with me. I really hope you guys learned something through the process. And my plan will to be back tomorrow night. Now, before I do that, I do want to plug one more time for the Work Smarter Discord community. I'm going to grab another invite link. And the reason I want to plug for this is on Monday night, I will not be here on Twitch hanging out with you guys. I dropped the link there. Instead, what I'm doing every Monday night is I'm leading a meeting at 9 p.m. Central Time, so the time that this stream started, just to help people set goals and hold you accountable to your own career growth. And hey, if you have any questions for me, would love to meet you at one of those meetings. It's usually a smaller group, so we have a lot of time to chat and hang out together. And it's not this like just my talking head talking to you. It's us talking to each other, and it's a lot more interactive. We'll hang out on Discord and we'll share our goals, our learning goals, how we're hoping to improve. So would love for you to join me on Discord. If you do join that Discord, there's an intro channel. Just post in the intro channel a little bit about who you are. Tag me there. Let them know I sent you just because I want to be the first one to welcome you to the Discord community. So guys, join the Work Smarter Discord. Would love to have you there. Otherwise, hopefully, if my plans all go well, I'll be back tomorrow night and we will pick up where we left off. But we got 3 flags. I feel good about it. Hopefully you guys feel good about it. And I will catch you guys tomorrow night. See ya.